YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This is Canadian Retro. I've got another pickups video for you here. Some pretty interesting stuff, some things I didn't have in my collection. It's, you know, not as bountiful as usual kind of thing. Haven't found a whole lot recently, but the stuff I did find I think is pretty decent. So I'm going to get down to it immediately here. First thing I wanted to show you, I got the other day. Just a couple of games, not the great prices or anything like that, but something that I did want to get for my collection. So first thing I'll show you here is I picked up Midway Arcade Origins for the Xbox 360. For this I paid $6, which is probably what it's worth, but it has so many games on it, it's fairly unbelievable. It's like all the old school Midway stuff. There's a huge list of them, so I'm not going to list them all off, but basically there's really great titles in there like Joust and just a whole bunch of different ones. Smash TV is awesome because I loved that back in the day. Super Off-Road, there's just a whole ton of them on this disc, like 30 plus games. And there's my receipt there, but there's everything, so it's totally complete. And this disc is in really mint shape, so I wasn't going to leave that behind. They actually had a number of different 360 titles there for $6 each, but some of them I just wasn't that interested in. I know they'll sort of come across them down the road kind of thing. So still pretty cool title there, that's for sure. Also at the same time I found this, and there was actually another game for the same system there, but it wasn't really worth picking up for the price. But this one was, it's NBA Jam Tournament Edition for the Super Nintendo. Obviously comes with a dust sleeve, which is really nice. And it's not in the world's greatest shape, but you know, it's hard to come across Super Nintendo stuff a lot of times, especially in my area, so it's really nice to pick up a title now and again. And I'm trying to remember if I have Tournament Edition for the Super Nintendo. I'm not totally certain about it. The only major problem with it is there's like a little bit of wear along the top there, but otherwise it's in really good shape, and the backing's wonderful and everything like that. So pretty good find overall for $4.04. Moving on from that, I walked into a Value Village, and this is a pretty interesting score actually. Normally I would leave these systems behind because I'm afraid that they're going to be red ringed to death, but this one here luckily wasn't. I picked up an Xbox 360, has the power supply, actually came with a wireless adapter on the back of it, so that was pretty cool. I plugged this in, I tested it out, and I actually plugged it in at the store. I didn't get the chance to test it out obviously at the store, but it didn't have a red ring when I loaded it up, so I was fairly confident that it would work out. If it didn't, still pretty cool. And a hard drive, which interestingly enough is really scratched up on the side and stuff like that. I don't know if you can see that there, but it's really scratched up all of the side, but everything seems to work. Went on, I actually put in that Midway arcade game, tested it out, worked perfectly fine. So this system is actually going to go upstairs in my living room upstairs. And this one here, it has the HDMI version of it, so that's pretty cool as well. And for that one there, they wanted $30 for it, but the great thing about this is I used my 30% off card. And so the next item, I'm not sure exactly what that worked out to. I guess 30% off of that would be like $21 or something like that for the console, so that's a pretty good deal to have another 360 that's actually functioning and HDMI. And then at the same time I found for $4.99 this, which I also tested out upstairs. I have batteries in it right now. I tested this out on my TV upstairs when I was testing out that system, and it's the controller obviously, but it also came with the keyboard attachment, which is super cool right there for $5. You can't beat that. And I tested it out, and you can see there the blinking, so she does work, and that's really awesome right there for me, that's for sure. That was that particular day, so I think a pretty decent find. I used my 30% off card, so for all of that, including this controller, I paid around $27, and that includes tax and everything like that, which I think is a pretty epic deal. I think you're probably going to see those systems a lot more now though, pretty soon. Stopped in at a number of Goodwills and stuff like that today. Didn't find a whole lot, except for at one Goodwill I managed to find a copy of Super Mario Strikers Charged, Mario Strikers Charged, and there's one downfall to this, which is always a downfall of disc-based games that are sitting on a shelf. It is empty, so that was unfortunate, but they did throw the case in for free. It had some Nintendo Club points in, which I got for free, so that was pretty awesome. It was like 20 points or whatever I could add to my Club Nintendo tally or whatever, so still pretty cool nonetheless. I think this might actually be a case upgrade or at least artwork upgrade for me, and I'm not sure if my copy of this actually has a manual. I'll have to double check, but if it doesn't, then that's great. I'll be able to sort of piece things together for that. I also picked up a copy of Batman Dark Tomorrow, which I heard after I got this and I checked out reviews and stuff like that, some people were saying this is not a very good title, so that's really unfortunate. I'd never seen it before in the wild, so I thought I'd pick it up for $5.05 today. We'll see how it goes. I don't know if you've played it, you let me know. It says exclusive limited edition comic inside, and the interesting thing about that is that the comic is actually in there with the manual, so everything was complete, so I figured at least for that, you know, why not? It's not that big of a loss anyways. And the disc on it is in pretty good shape, just needs to be cleaned because there's lots of fingerprints and stuff like that on it, but looks to be in really good shape otherwise. So $5.05 for that one. Another one that I didn't have in my collection and is an Xbox exclusive, so it's really nice, the original Xbox exclusive. Really nice to add in. It's a Sega title, which is Atogi. And what's the subtitle of it? Myth of Demons. And this looks like a really interesting and enjoyable hack and slash kind of game. Probably not that well known or anything like that, but you know, the only place you can play this is on your Xbox. So pretty cool right there to pick up for $5.05. The last title that I picked up is not that valuable really, but really wanted to add it into my collection and figured I'd just go with the price that they had on it. It's probably worth what I paid for it, and for some reason it's not as revered as the other ones in the series now, or not in the series, but just in fighters in general. Usually it would have a good following. I think this was met with disappointment or something like that, so that's the way that is. But it's Capcom Fighting Evolution. This is for the original Xbox, and that's totally complete there. It even has the French manual in it and behind, which I'll probably have to get rid of because it always bends and looks horrible in there, so I'll probably get rid of that, but I'll keep the original in there. And again, the disc condition is really weird on this one. I'm gonna have to try to clean it up. I don't know what it is. It's not scratched, it's just like spots and stuff on it, so I don't know if that's some sort of degradation to the disc or something. I'm gonna have to look into that. It doesn't look like it was a messed up resurfacing job, so I just don't really get what's on there, so I'm gonna have to see if I can get that off of there somehow. But still cool nonetheless. I was checking out gameplay of it, and like I was saying before, some people didn't really hold it in high regard. I think it's just because the roster is pretty small. Like, it pulls characters from, and it says here on the back, Street Fighter Alpha, Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 3, and then Dark Stalkers and Red Earth, which are a bunch of different fighting games, and kind of like combines them all together and takes characters from each one. But the problem is it only takes about 4 characters from each one, so you basically get, you know, like 20, a little bit over 20 characters to play in this. And I think the disappointment was people were expecting a lot more characters. There's other games that had like 30 plus characters in them on their own, so they were kind of expecting, you know, this would be packed full of characters. And still at the same time, I'm not a huge fighter kind of person. I don't know a whole lot about it. Like, I used to play Street Fighter and stuff like that, maybe a little bit of fighter games here and there, but not a whole lot of it. So I might actually enjoy this even if it is a little trimmed down. Still pretty cool to combine a bunch of series together. So that was my last find of the day. That was everything. I thought it was a pretty good haul for the last couple of days. Nice to always find Super Nintendo games, and obviously an Xbox, you know, for $27 basically complete is pretty wicked too. So that's everything. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Feel free to thumbs up this video, comment down below, and then I'll see you all later.